Happy to be with you alongside Ohio Soccer Hall of Famer Paul Rockwood as we are set to debut a new rivalry, second home match for FC Cincinnati, and they welcome in Louisville City tonight to Nippert Stadium. Paul, rivalries are so important in the sport of soccer. They fuel the fans' passion, and we expect to see the same here this evening.
That's for sure. Louisville, on their blogs for the last 4 or 5 months, they've been looking for this day right since then. Since we came into the league, they've been looking for it.
Yeah, and their fans are expected to be here and make some noise, but there are expected to be a lot of FC Cincinnati supporters as well. And last Saturday, when it was about 35 degrees cooler, they left happy thanks to the explosive John Hark's offense.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Okole's first goal of the home matches, it's brilliant. It's seared in everybody's mind. It was at the stadium, and it'll be full-blown.
Yeah, no question. And then in the second half, the hometown hero, Austin Berry, comes through with what ends up being the game winner.
Yeah, he was the one that started it by winning the ball midfield, and he continued his run and found the ball on a great serve from Jimmy McLaughlin.
Well, the fans here at Nippert Stadium will be looking for more fireworks tonight. It's the first ever meeting between these two clubs. Is it already a rivalry? Well, we're going to find out. Starters in the first match coming up next. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. Have made it a rivalry. Are the players feeling it as well? For more, we go down to the field for the first time tonight to Lindsay Patterson.
When it comes to rivalries in Cincinnati, we have the Bengals, the Steelers, the Reds, the Cardinals, the Bearcats, the Musketeers. But can we already see a rivalry with two teams that have yet to match up? You saw the trash talking earlier in the week from the FC Cincinnati fans and the Louisville fans. Louisville brought a big group here tonight. Tonight we find out if it's the start of something special. You know what they say, guys? There's a first for everything.
Well, it's certainly a first tonight, as these two will meet 3 times this season. Tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by your local Toyota dealers, where you could start your next adventure in the first ever RAV4 Hybrid at 34 MPG City. You can go over 500 miles on a tank of gas. John Hark's for FC Cincinnati, the same starting 11 that he went with the last 3 matches. Mitch Hildebrandt will be the goalkeeper for the orange and blue. The goal scorers from last week, Sean Okole and Austin Berry. On the other side, for Louisville City FC 2-1-0 on the year, James O'Connor mixing things up into the starting lineup. Ben Newnam, a defender out of North Carolina, and a familiar face out there is Kyle Smith. He will be in the starting lineup. Kyle Smith in the starting lineup for Louisville City. He is a LaSalle High School product. Tom Glader and Paul Rockwood happy to be with you as both teams have taken to the pitch. They are expecting a larger crowd tonight, Paul. The weather is considerably better than what we saw 1 week ago when it was about 36 degrees. At the first touch, I'd say it's about 30 to 33 degrees warmer here tonight.
For sure, and they even had to wet the field down a bit today. It's a brand new field here at Nippert, and after the heat that we've had the last couple of days, it's cooled it down.
Louisville City ready first. They will get the first touch in their road kits, white tops with gold horizontal stripes, gold shorts, white socks, FC Cincinnati, and their traditional home kits. The blue tops, blue socks, orange and white on the front. And Louisville City is set to get the first ever meeting between these two clubs underway. For weeks, their fans have bickered on social media, and now, for the first time tonight, they can let their play do the talking. Louisville City a little bit excited on the opening touch, pushes it along the end line, and it'll be a goal kick coming up for Mitch Hildebrand.
Well, there's a lot of nerves also. You're coming into a big crowd situation, and which they haven't had.
FC Cincinnati working left to right in the first half, same direction that they worked in last week against Charlotte, a 2-1 win. Both these teams, 2 wins on the season, 1 loss. Louisville City last played last weekend at home and knocked off Orlando City on Saturday 4-1. They trailed that match early 1-0 and scored 4 unanswered against Orlando City. Here comes FC Cincinnati. Corbin Bone just inside the box. Hits it with his right foot. A big save by Scott Goodwin. He quickly gets rid of it, and then Corbin Bone trying to track it down along the touchline. He goes out. It'll be a throw-in, and here comes FC Cincinnati's pressure.
That was one of their main goals this week, to put a lot of pressure on their backs.
Throw-in is deflected away by Louisville City. Now it'll come all the way out to the midfield, and Ross Tomasello is going to back it off. The home club will take their time setting up their potent offensive attack. Kenny Walker had some good looks against Charlotte, touches it out wide. And now FC Cincinnati will retract a bit further into the middle third. Long ball intended for a Coley, trying to chase it down just outside the box. Well defended, and the flag went up. FC Cincinnati was offsides. Sean Coley, just a step or two too far, Paul.
For sure.
Louisville City also a club that likes to attack, and talking to the FC Cincinnati staff this week, they certainly said that they expected to see pressure from the visitors tonight. Jimmy McLaughlin, a nice touch to Sean Coley, going out wide. To the left of the goalkeeper, Scott Goodwin. Coley trying to get inside the box, knocked out along the end line. It'll be a corner kick coming up for FC Cincinnati. Let's start to get into tonight's keys to the match, which are presented by Toyota. For all Toyota offers, including those not seen on TV, go to Toyota's official website for deals at buyatoyota.com. And
they're looking to press the Louisville team. And Coach John said he wanted the players to enjoy the moment with the big crowd.
Corbin Bone swings in the corner. We'll get back to enjoying the moment on the corner kick. Scott Goodwin leapt, got a hand on it, knocked it over the goal. So now they're going to turn things around, and we get another look. A nice cross there from Corbin Bone.
Yes, it was. They would have liked to have seen the runs be a little bit better, but that happens the first part.
Scoreless in the 4th minute. And you were talking about just managing the emotions of all of this, Paul, that there's going to be a lot of fans here. Obviously, this is a rivalry in the making. Got to manage it.
For sure. And then the noise down there in the field, some of the players said it was hard to hear each other. And good service.
Tyler Polak swings it across the box. Harrison Delbridge trying to get his head on it, cannot. Comes out to Jimmy McLaughlin. McLaughlin up to Wiedemann, turns, left footer is blocked. Polak collects to Sean Coley. Coley had the spectacular goal, and the flag is up. FC Cincinnati is offsides for the second time here in the early moments. 4th minute, 0-0, and you're talking about that pressure. Press. It's coming, but you got to make sure you're not getting ahead of the defenders.
For sure, and you look at the first part of the game here, they've hardly crossed the half line.
So Scott Goodwin will put his foot into it, comes across midfield. Louisville City trying to get into the offensive third for the first time tonight. Austin Berry clearing it up the sideline. It was intended for Sean Coley, well picked up by Louisville City. Kadeem Dakers, nice touch off to the right. Now a crossing ball intended for Andrew Luban, the product out of Erie, Pennsylvania. A touch too strong, and Mitch Hildebrand was there to gobble it up.
Yeah, no, with this pressure that they're putting on, they're trying to get past the crowded midfield that Louisville has presented to them. Usually they have like 5 in the mid, and they keep Hoffman up top.
Ben Newnam into the starting lineup for James O'Connor in his 2nd year, leading this 2nd-year club. Now it's Pat McMahon Tapping it forward to Corbin Bone, who picks it up amidst two defenders. Then he is fouled just outside the box, and a very dangerous free kick coming up for FC Cincinnati.
Great opportunity now for Cincinnati.
Another look at the foul. Bone picked it up, and then a bit aggressive defense there from Aiden Quinn.
And that's what you have to do. You have to penetrate into the penalty area because the defense has to play differently.
FC Cincinnati, a bit taller club. And this is where a Sean Okoli, Harrison Delbridge, or Austin Berry maybe could use that size advantage. On a free kick coming a yard or two just outside the box. Tyler Polak, the lefty, and Corbin Bone, the righty, both stand there. And we'll see who steps onto it. Polak into the middle, a shot, and a goal for the second week in a row. The hometown hero, Austin Berry, heads it in. And for the second week in a row, Paul, early fireworks for the orange and blue.
Another dream start. Great service. Berry buries it.
Oh, a big crowd on hand for the second consecutive week, and Austin Berry delivers. 2 games back in his hometown, 2 goals here at Nippert Stadium. And FC Cincinnati has the early lead. Long ball for Sean Okoli. Scott Goodwin able to get to it. Okoli had a pair of defenders with him, but if he picks it up, he has a chance. Meanwhile, Louisville City looking for an answer. Ben Newnam. Nice touch forward to Andrew Luban. Luban looking for a cross. Has it tapped away, then it goes out of bounds as Pat McMahon, the fullback, came over to knock it out along the touchline.
Great job of denying the service.
Louisville setting up in the offensive third. Luban and Kenny Walker were there. The flag went up on the far side of the pitch. And FC Cincinnati will regain possession. So they are partying in the Bailey early as Austin Berry in the 6th minute gives FC Cincinnati a 1-0 lead. Now in the 8th minute, FC Cincinnati with a free kick coming up from their goalkeeper, Mitch Hildebrand. Hildebrand will put his right foot into it. It crosses midfield, intended for Sean Okoli, who is taken down by Tarek Morad. No foul is called. Louisville City collects, and then back to Tyler Polak as FC Cincinnati looks to pick up the possession. Far side of the pitch, Kadeem Akers making a great run. Got around Ross Tomaselli, looking to cross it. Harrison Delbridge clears it onto the foot of Corbin Bone. Good defense picking up the pace by FC Cincinnati.
For sure, and they're finding their outlet passes.
Sean Okoli trying to touch it across midfield, and it goes out along the touchline. Back to the defense, and you see Harrison there doing a great job.
Yes, great job finding the outlet player.
Louisville City in the middle third, trailing by a goal early. Long ball intended for Chandler Hoffman. He was not offsides, but a bit too long, and Mitch Hildebrand steps up to it. Hoffman has 1 goal this season on 6 shots. He is a young man with MLS appearances. 20 matches he has appeared in the MLS. Pat McMahon on a long ball heads it away, but it's picked back up by Louisville City. Ben Newnam drops it for Aiden Quinn. Into the box, turned, and this time the flag
Offsides
went up.
again.
Louisville City's offsides. And Paul, is this a factor early? I think both teams maybe a little bit of jitters, playing each other for the first time, pressing a bit, and we've seen more offsides than you would expect in the first 9 minutes?
Well, I think it's Louisville's trying to get forward so fast that and Harrison and Austin, they've had so much experience, and they're just holding everybody up, particularly when they're trying to get around McMahon over here.
A bit of a confrontation down the pitch with Sean Okoli. That'll bring Brandon Artis, the match official, over to have a conversation with Okoli. He's been tangled up a few times here in the first 10 minutes, and Sean Okoli just got booked.
And that's going to fuel the rivalry. Since they have to play 2 more games in the rest of this game.
There's still a lot to go here tonight.
Oh, I know.
First yellow card of the season for Acoli, first booking of the match, and it took 10 minutes. Long ball for Acoli, heads it forward. Beautiful ball by Wiedemann. Wiedemann just outside the box trying to cross it. Went off the defender, corner kick coming up. Nearly hit the hand of Morad, the defender out of California. Tyler Polak will come across the pitch. Of course, he plays on the left side for FC Cincinnati, but being a lefty, when you see these corners down to our right, he comes all the way across to swing it in with his left foot.
Exactly. Very difficult to defend.
1-0 FC Cincinnati on the goal by Austin Berry in the 6th minute. He scored early in the second half last Saturday, early in the first half tonight. Polak with his left foot into the box, nearly headed in by Pat McMahon. Stepping up from his defensive position, put his head on it and went just wide.
He snuck in from the D as everybody cleared the space, and he was wide open.
We talked about the size advantage that FC Cincinnati has on those set pieces. It worked out on the first goal. Austin Berry coming up from the defensive position, nearly misplayed by Louisville City, and then has to go back to their goalkeeper Scott Goodwin into the far side of the field. Corbin Bone picks it up for FC Cincinnati. And the flag was up, offsides for FC Cincinnati.
And this is exactly what Cincinnati wanted to accomplish. Pressure the backs, cough it up, then get in on goal.
There's no question that the men in orange and blue will use their athleticism to push the tempo, to create offensive opportunities. And they've done it early in the first half here. 12th minute, 1-0 in favor of FC Cincinnati. Aiden Quinn crosses it across the pitch. Now into the middle, it's picked up by Louisville City. Misfired forward. FC Cincinnati trying to regain possession. Tyler Polak was looking for a foul, did not come. Kenny Walker touches it off to Sean Acoli. Misplayed and ends up onto the foot of Chandler Hoffman. Went out of bounds on the far side along the touchline. Throw-in coming for FC Cincinnati.
Once again, another night of attack. This is just so brilliant to watch.
It's the way that John Harkes has set it up. Certainly has 3 very talented forwards to lead the pressure. Sean Acoli's cut down, picks up the foul, kind of turns and shrugs his shoulder in the directions of Brandon Artis, who gave him a yellow card moments ago.
And he's looking for a little yellow card on the other guy as well. So that's going to be a battle we can watch the rest of the evening.
There's been no shortage of contact here in the first 13 minutes. Fans continue to file in. They're expecting a larger crowd than last week. It was 14,658 for the first ever professional soccer match here at Nippert Stadium. They're expecting somewhere maybe north of 18,000. Ross Tomaselli fires it forward. Harrison Delbridge will head it down to Corbin Bone. Bone dangerous from this range, just inside the box. Working to cross it, sends it. Wiedemann heads it right into the chest of Scott Goodwin.
A lot of young players, they'll try to hit that on goal, but they want to head it back into the middle.
Morad over to Quinn. Quinn looking to bring it up the near sideline. Plays a long ball for Andrew Luban. And Mitch Hildebrandt comes off his line to knock it forward back into the midfield. All the way back to the defensive third for Louisville City. Tarek Morad turning it back to his goalkeeper Goodwin. Scott Goodwin out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Played 4 years at the University of North Carolina, including the 2011 season when he won a national championship with the Tar Heels. Has had a good start to the year for Louisville City. Wiedemann trying to pick it up for FC Cincinnati. Polak gets knocked down hard, and a foul will be called on Louisville City, much to the chagrin of the Louisville City supporters, who are about 10 yards away from where that foul was committed.
Everybody's innocent in prison.
I'd say about 1,000 supporters here tonight made the 102-mile drive north. That's a fair foul. As we see the replay, not worthy of a booking, but certainly worthy of a foul. And now Louisville City will collect as a ball too long for Sean Acoli ends up in the hands of Goodwin. Quinn forward off the head of Tomaselli. Chandler Hoffman was there trying to collect. And a foul's going to be called on Tomaselli as he got into Kadeem Dakers.
You got to go up with the ball.
And Tomaselli is going to get a few words from Brandon Artis. Tomaselli certainly got more of Dakers than he did of the soccer ball.
Yep.
He didn't get any of the soccer ball, so an easy call for Brandon Artis. And a chance to see what Louisville City can do on the restart. Into the box, looking for the header, and they're going to call a handball. Penalty kick coming up for Louisville City. Handball called in the box. And Louisville City, with Chandler Hoffman, is going to have a chance to even the match. Yep. Easy call. As you see the handball.
A lot of times that might go the other way as the ball played him.
It is getting loud here at Nippert Stadium. Chandler Hoffman is going to have to shoot into the Bailey as he tries to beat Mitch Hildebrand. For those who may be more casual fans tuning in, a handball in the box is an automatic penalty kick. There was no booking. Here we go. Hoffman shoots and evens the match at 1 apiece in the 17th minute.
Really goes against the run of play. But that's how things happen. First quarter hour belonged to Cincinnati.
The penalty kick again. Mitch Hildebrand, he guessed right.
Yep.
He dove in the correct direction, but he didn't get there fast enough. One more look from behind the goal.
He put some venom on that one.
Too quick for Hildebrand to catch up with it. And just like that, we are even at 1 apiece.
Well, we'll just see how the boys respond.
McMahon played it forward for a Coley, and Sean was knocked down. Foul was called on Louisville City. Kenny Walker, who could strike it pretty well, will stand above the ball. Tyler Pollock will come over as well. This is a dangerous spot. The size that FC Cincinnati has, we talked about it already a little bit. Either of these young men can swing it in and set up a chance to put FC Cincinnati right back on top. Kenny Walker stands to the left. Tyler Pollock to the right. Walker swings it forward, looking for a Coley. No, it's Delbridge getting his head on it, but couldn't turn it towards the goal, and it goes out wide. No danger there for Louisville City. Ball quickly played forward for Dakers. It's intercepted by Tomaselli, but then Dakers picks it right back up. Louisville City looking to come across the pitch, and a late whistle as Chandler Hoffman, who just scored, was taken down, and things getting a bit chippy in the midfield. Kenny Walker committed the foul. Does not appear as though there's going to be a booking, but Aiden Quinn came across, took exception to the foul, and Kenny Walker's running his mouth a bit now as we get another look.
Yeah, it looked like he went over the ball a little bit.
Huh? Came into his shin guards.
He scissored him a bit.
So no booking, but a foul with Louisville City now. Back even with FC Cincinnati. Going to send it into the box. Shauna Coley heads it away. Jimmy McLaughlin will turn on it, trying to get it forward to Andrew Wiedemann, who is shoved. And an easy foul on the whistle and call by the official. A foul called on Kyle Smith. Throw-in coming for FC Cincinnati right at midfield. Pat McMahon will hold it between the benches. And FC Cincinnati looking to regroup after a penalty kick in the 17th minute by Chandler Hoffman. Evens the match at 1 apiece. Physical play in the midfield, no whistle. Kenny Walker fighting for it. Taps it away from Niall McCabe, one of the dangerous midfielders for Louisville City. And all of a sudden, Paul, it feels like FC Cincinnati's having a real hard time getting it back to their offensive third.
Right, and just it's composure. A lot of pressure from Louisville. get back into the rhythm after a goal scored.
No lack of physicality here in the first 20 minutes at Nippert Stadium. One apiece. All picked up in the midfield by Paulo DiPiccolo. He'll go out wide for Louisville City. Now into the offensive third. Kadeem Akers swings it in. Austin Berry clears it. Sean Coley in the midfield trying to catch up with it. And there to recover is Louisville City. They'll come out wide near sideline. Ben Noonan. Noonan with Wiedemann in his face. Pat McMahon will track it down. He's just going to let it go out along the end line. But that'll mean a goal kick for Mitch Hildebrand.
Right, when the ball's played up to Coley, he's going to have to hold up rather than try to turn and take the guy on so he can get the rest of our midfield to catch up.
Mitch Hildebrand with a goal kick coming for FC Cincinnati, and he airmails it over the head of John Honks and in between the benches. So nothing going for FC Cincinnati. Louisville City will get a throw in and a chance to get back to their offensive third. Tom Glider alongside Paul Rockwood. Lindsey Patterson is our sideline reporter down on the pitch. We'll check in with her throughout the broadcast. We appreciate you joining us for the second consecutive Saturday as we bring you all the home matches throughout the 2016 season here at Nippert Stadium. Pat McMahon looking for a ball to throw it in after Louisville City loses it on the throw in from almost the same spot. Man going to walk it down the pitch as far as he can. It is knocked right back out. Let's go down to the pitch and check in with Lindsay.
SL, the Super Y League, a new elite program. The experience offers players an opportunity to work with the USL environment. They will get some training, mentoring from coaches, players. FC Cincinnati is actually the first to host that event this year. 70 top-rated players will compete at the highest level in the country during this experience.
I know it's been great for those youngsters that have been here in Cincinnati since Thursday, taking in the USL experience. As Lindsay mentioned, they are here at the match, watching tonight, across the way from the Louisville City bench. Battle in the midfield, Corbin Bone looking to win it, does not. Kadeem Akers comes up and picks it up. Beautiful save along the touchline to keep it in play. Now looking to cross it, and it is intercepted by Harrison Delbridge. He keeps it alive, but knocks it right back to Louisville City and Akers. Back and forth action here in the first half, but Louisville City certainly with the momentum right now.
Seems like Cincinnati's having a hard time figuring out the midfield for Louisville at this moment. They had it earlier.
Louisville City misfires right in front of their head coach James O'Connor. Goes into their bench. Throw in for FC Cincinnati. Kenny Walker will bring it back into play. And a whistle comes. Walker advanced it about an extra 3 or 4 steps before throwing it in. Trying to move quickly. And the officials slowed things down. James O'Connor was right there to remind them.
He
Kenny
thought
Walker
it was
may
up
have
farther.
cheated up a little bit. That's a classic soccer move, right? To pick up, try and pick up a few extra steps.
Well, if you think it's up there a little farther. You're
See
right.
if the official will agree with you, right? 24th minute. FC Cincinnati and Louisville City, they'll play 3 times this season. This is the first of those 3 matches, and we are tied at 1 apiece. Austin Berry with the goal for FC Cincinnati in the 6th minute. And then Chandler Hoffman evened it with a penalty kick in the 17th. Ball out wide. Here comes Louisville City in the offensive third. Sent into the middle, wide open, and Chandler Hoffman picks up his 2nd goal of the match, giving Louisville City for the lead for the first time tonight. What do you see here, Paul?
Great penetration, great ball across, dummy run, buried in the back post.
Great cross. Austin Berry was late getting back defensively. Hildebrand dove across and was a hair too late. Much like the penalty kick, almost the exact same spot.
Right.
Just a hair too late getting to it. So 2 goals for Chandler Hoffman, his 2nd and 3rd of the season, coming here in the first half. After the early lead by FC Cincinnati, now they find themselves trailing at home for the first time this season. Louisville City will knock it forward, nobody home, and Mitch Hildebrand will come over to collect. First time this season that Hildebrand has given up more than one goal in a match. Now, obviously, the penalty kick, tough situation with the handball called in the box. Hildebrand will send it forward. Wiedemann turns and heads it forward towards Sean Acoli. But now FC Cincinnati needs to get back to what they're really good at, attacking, putting out pressure. We saw it in the first 10 minutes. He created an opportunity.
Multiple opportunities.
Tyler Polak picks it
Here
up
we
forward
go.
for Sean Acoli. Flag is not up. Big save, Scott Goodwin, and Acoli tried to chip it over the goalkeeper and couldn't do it. Out wide for McLaughlin. FC Cincinnati's attack still alive. McLaughlin outside the box, turns, right foots it into the box. Corbin Bone heads it, and it just goes over the goal. Nearly an equalizer for Corbin Bone in the 26th minute. But that's what we were talking about, Paul, picking up the pace, getting back to what you're comfortable with. And this was a great look. Sean Acoli just shot it right into the chest of Scott Goodwin, who was diving at him.
Keeper had a great starting position also.
So a big save for Goodwin, who's been successful on 70% of the shots on goal so far this year. He's played every minute for Louisville City. Ball forward for Niall McCabe. McCabe going to go out wide to Dakers. Dakers into the box. Put it over the head of Hoffman and Luban. And now FC Cincinnati trying to save it along the touchline. They do so. Forward to McMahon, and now back to Harrison Delbridge. Over to the goalkeeper, Mitch Hildebrand. 2-1, Louisville City. This is the first meeting of the River Cities Cup. Long ball for Sean Acoli, trying to track it down to the left of the box. He cannot. Well defended by Louisville City. Into the middle. Tarek Morad. Now up the far sideline. Harrison Delbridge trying to get to it before Dakers does so. He is shoved down by Dakers as he knocks it out. Now Delbridge coming in on Dakers, gets payback. No whistle from the official. Corbin Bone out wide. Tyler Polak forward, and Sean Acoli is cut down. The whistle is blown, and here comes the booking. First of the night called on Louisville City, and they get Sean Reynolds. Much too strong on the foul, and that brought Brandon Artis over, Paul. A very fairly called yellow card.
That's just brutal. That's just brutal.
So a yellow card on Sean Reynolds. That's his second of the season. 28th minute. Kenny Walker gets it forward. Corbin Bone too strong for Sean Acoli. Acoli has been involved in a lot of the physical play here in the first 29 minutes.
Well, when you play that number 9, the center striker position, you know you're going to be in a battle every match.
Long ball will fly out along the touchline. Austin Berry, who has the only goal controlling for FC Cincinnati, the only goal for the home club. 2 unanswered for Louisville City. They try to pick it up in the midfield, do so, and swing it out wide to Ben Newnham. Newnham, the product of Wake Forest, forward Harrison Delbridge. Good job defensively to clear it out. Gets it forward to Kenny Walker, and then it was Wiedemann trying to give it right back to Walker. Louisville City picks it up. Remember, this is a club that last year played in the conference finals of the USL. Lost 1-0 to the Rochester Rhinos, who ended up going on to win the USL Championship with Pat McMahon leading the way.
And they've just finally got a lineup after a couple games where they had mismatches and players that weren't doing the job, and so they finally settled on a lineup here.
Louisville City scored 4 goals last time out. They already have 2 here tonight against their rival FC Cincinnati. The visitors leading 2-1 in the 30th minute. Long ball up the far sideline. Tyler Pollock nearly beat. Able to recover. Taps it off to Ross Tomaselli. Back to Pollock. Forward Corbin Bone. Bone got it from McLaughlin. And then well defended by Louisville City. Ross Tomaselli. Back to Delbridge. Delbridge long ball for Okoli. 2 defenders on Okoli. He plays it off his chest. Here comes Sean. Spinning just outside the box. Lost his footing, and Louisville City picks it back up. Good ball down the sideline. Chandler Hoffman, who has both goals for Louisville City, can't get to it before Harrison Delbridge picks it up defensively. Wiedemann across the middle of the pitch. Over to Austin Berry. Louisville City gets it back just outside the offensive third. Hoffman trying to feed Luban, who has to track it down. It goes out along the end line, and the whistle did come. Didn't hear it up here, but the whistle came, and it was funny. A couple of the guys, FC Cincinnati was convinced, and obviously they heard it, because they stopped playing, but Louisville City was trying to sell it at least that maybe there was no whistle.
That's for sure. You're talking about Hoffman earlier in both goals. He's very dangerous inside the box, maybe not so much on the outside of the box, but inside the box he scored a really good near post goal their last game, and now here he's got 2 tonight.
Hoffman, a 6-foot forward out of Alabama, played collegiately at UCLA, where he was a Herman Trophy semifinalist. If you win the Herman Trophy in college soccer, that means you're the best in the country. John Harkes did it when he was at Virginia. If you're a semifinalist, you may not be the best, but you're one of the best if you're named a semifinalist. So certainly a great collegiate career for Chandler Hoffman, and he has had a good night so far. We will now see our third booking as Harrison Delbridge knocks over Andrew Luban. And Delbridge goes into the book in the 32nd minute. Three yellow cards in 33 minutes. Tell me what you see here, Paul.
He got him. He just
came up too high. And
well, he flicked it up over top of Harrison, and his momentum just carried through him.
Yellow cards on Sean Okoli and Harrison Delbridge for FC Cincinnati. Sean Reynolds, the defender out of Florida, picked one up moments ago for Louisville City. 33rd minute. City on top, 2-1. Swung into the box on the free kick, headed away by Harrison Delbridge. It'll go out along the touchline. Quick throw in coming for Louisville City, and then they think twice about it. Then Nunam comes over, and he'll throw it in. Wake Forest product, who played for FC Cincinnati assistant Ryan Martin with the Demon Deacons. Kenny Walker. Wiedemann trying to play it along the touchline, gets kicked in the chest. John Harkes was a few yards away, wanted a yellow card, and they're pleading to the fourth official for the call. The booking will not be issued, but a throw in coming for FC Cincinnati. Okoli. And it's played back to the defensive line for Louisville City. Ball across the middle of the field for Andrew Luban. Out wide, Ben Nunam. Right in front of the FC Cincinnati bench. Onto the foot of Niall McCabe. He's been pretty quiet so far. Ball across the middle. Mitch Hildebrandt is beat on the third goal of the first half by Chandler Hoffman. What a 35 minutes for the native of Birmingham, Alabama. And just like that, 3 unanswered goals, and Louisville City has a commanding 2-goal advantage here in the first half. Great crossing ball from Ben Nunam, and Hoffman had plenty of time to put it in the net.
Great service across. too far away from him.
Well, if you remember last Saturday, Louisville City against Orlando City B went down early 1-0. And then what do they do? Rattle off 4 straight goals. Not quite the same so far today, but they have scored 3 straight after going down 1-0 in the 6th minute. There's a lot of soccer left to be played, but I think right now, FC Cincinnati just needs to regroup, Paul.
Exactly. Just calm down. You don't need to get 3 goals and 2 passes. Just get back to what you're good at.
Louisville City, after giving FC Cincinnati some opportunities early, has completely taken over in their offensive third. That's where they control now to our left, working right to left here in the first half and attacking in front of the Bailey, who is dead silent at the moment. Louisville City supporters, however, making plenty of noise on the far side of the pitch. Morad forward for Newnham, who had the assist moments ago. Pat McMahon comes over to knock it away. Kenny Walker plays it into the chest of Quinn. Quinn gets tangled up, ends up losing it out along the touchline. Quick throw in for FC Cincinnati, trying to gain some momentum. Wiedemann making a run, plays it into the middle. Sean Acoli has it go off his leg, and Louisville City able to head it back to their goalkeeper, Scott Goodwin.
It's going to be really important for Cincinnati just to hold on here. If they can pull back a goal before halftime, that's great, but they don't want to concede another one for sure.
Is there anything that you'd want to see them change right now, or just get back to what they're good at, which is playing that attacking style and getting forward, creating opportunities?
Right. They've gotten a little bit away from playing in through their mids. And right now, Sean Acoli, there we go.
Ross Tomaselli picks it up onto the right foot of Andrew Wiedemann. Working down the right side. Wiedemann has some space. Into the middle. Nearly chips it over Scott Goodwin, who lost it for a moment trying to see if it was going to go in the goal. It ended up wide where he was able to collect. A great look there from Wiedemann. Here comes Jimmy McLaughlin on a run. Trying to get around the defender, cannot. It'll come into Goodwin, who quickly strikes it back into the midfield. 38th minute at Nippert Stadium. Louisville City 3, FC Cincinnati 1. Out into the midfield. Tyler Pollock will let it go out right at that midfield strike. And a throw-in coming from the far sideline. Pollock will wait for FC Cincinnati to set up their attack. Intercepted by Louisville City, right back out of bounds. But it went off of FC Cincinnati this time, and the visitors will get an opportunity to throw it in, leading by a pair. Played across midfield. Tyler Pollock loses it, but he was fouled by Kadeem Akers, who grabbed his jersey, and a foul was called. So FC Cincinnati will get it back. About 7 minutes remaining in the first half. Austin Berry waiting to put his foot into it. And does so with his right boot. Sean Acoli can't win it. It'll come out to Pollock. On to Kenny Walker. Over to Corbin Bone. Now back to Berry. Across the midfield, and FC Cincinnati has to retreat to their defensive third. Berry into the middle, Kenny Walker. Long ball right onto the foot of Acoli. An opportunity for the orange and blue is cleared wide. Good defense from Sean Reynolds out of Fort Walton Beach, Florida.
There's a great ball behind Reynolds to Acoli versus in front of Reynolds. Great ball.
Reynolds kept it so that it went out along the touchline, so only a throw-in for Pollock instead of a dangerous corner kick for FC Cincinnati. Kenny Walker into the box trying to feed Wiedemann. Bit too strong, ends up into the paws of Scott Goodwin. So how do we get to 3-1? Well, a handball called against FC Cincinnati in the box. Gave Chandler Hoffman his first goal of the night on a penalty kick. And then 7 minutes later, he struck again. And 11 minutes after that, he made it 3-1 Louisville City. After the early goal by Austin Berry energized Nippert Stadium, the home fans now looking for an answer from their club. Out of bounds on the near touchline. Throw in coming for Louisville City deep in the offensive third. Ben Newnam will throw it in. And then he gets it back off a quick touch. Newnam had the assist on the third goal for Chandler Hoffman. You want to guess if he's going to be on the USL Team of the Week?
No doubt about that.
Morad was trying to get it forward to Newnam, intercepted by FC Cincinnati, but Louisville City regroups. Quinn across the pitch, far sideline for Dakers, out along the touchline, and throw in coming for FC Cincinnati with about 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. If you're new to the game of soccer and you know that the halves are 45 minutes apiece, that doesn't mean that they are exactly 45 minutes. There will no doubt be some stoppage time, and here comes another booking. This one on Louisville City, and it is a red card. Second booking of the match on Sean Reynolds, the defender, and how about this? A red card in the 41st minute, and all of a sudden a 3-1 lead for Louisville City. Maybe doesn't look as commanding as they're going to have to play 50 minutes a man down. Tell us what you see here, Paul.
Yeah, just a mugging, another mugging, and it's probably about 15 minutes too late, but we'll take it.
So Sean Reynolds.
Yeah, when you're playing when you're playing with a yellow card, you can't do that stuff at midfield. They've got 45 extra yards to catch up to Okoli, and you got to give Okoli credit for keeping his composure this whole first half. Amazing.
Reynolds will get a send-off from the Bailey as he has to make the trek up to the Louisville City locker room. Leading 3-1, Louisville City will now play a man down the rest of the way. Substitution coming up here in the first half for Louisville City, who maybe now they're going to have to change their shape. Niall McCabe, the midfielder, coming out, and Connor Shanowski, a defender, 6'4", gives them some more size. And maybe if you're James O'Connor now, you say, hey, we're leading by 2. Let's go to a defensive-minded match, because FC Cincinnati's going to push now with their style of play.
They're going to pack it in. It's called parking the bus in front of the goal. So we'll see how Cincinnati can handle this and break it down.
Maybe a big change in this match in the 41st minute as Reynolds is sent off with his second yellow card of the first half. That also means that he is not available on Friday at Harrisburg City. He will be suspended for one match. Ball played forward. Kenny Walker onto the chest of McMahon. Crossing ball intended for Okoli is deflected away, but McMahon regroups. Plays it out to Tomaselli. Into the middle is looking for Delbridge. Too strong. Corbin Bone will track it down towards the corner. FC Cincinnati bringing the pressure. Still a few minutes left here in the first half. The home lads trailing by a pair. Tomaselli pressing, tried to get into the box, well defended by Louisville City, and no question, Paul, they're packing it in right now.
No problem, and also Cincinnati's adjusted immediately. They've already put up Harrison up front, and they're playing with 3 backs.
Ross Tomaselli shifting around to be much more of a defensive-minded midfielder for John Harkes, with Delbridge playing forward in the box. McMahon will get a throw in right at the offensive third for FC Cincinnati. Let's see if maybe they can cut the deficit in half before heading to the locker room and at least gain some momentum.
Psychologically, that'd be just huge.
McMahon into the middle, Kenny Walker. Walker to Okoli, tried to tap it to McLaughlin, came up short, and may have been some miscommunications, and McLaughlin didn't come to the ball.
When you're in those confined spaces, it takes a lot of teamwork to break that down there. Those little dinky touches.
FC Cincinnati trying to control the tempo in the waning moments of the first half. On to the 45th minute. Louisville City leading 3-1. They have scored 3 unanswered after Austin Berry's early header gave FC Cincinnati the lead. Louisville City playing the rest of the way, a man down after Sean Reynolds was sent off. Ball played forward, but it went out of bounds. before Kyle Smith, the Cincinnati native, got his foot on it. Here comes FC Cincinnati. Sean Coley and Corbin Bone trying to hook up. Corbin Bone was knocked down. No foul was called. Harrison Delbridge going to make a long run to collect for the home team. Mitch Hildebrand taps it forward for Ross Tomaselli. He'll bring it into the middle third. Tomaselli across the pitch. 3 minutes of stoppage time. So 3 minutes tacked on by the fourth official, James Dooling. And we are not yet done here in the first half. Scott Goodwin will put his right foot into it. Across the midfield stripe, Louisville City can't collect, but Harrison Delbridge heads it out along the touchline. The throw-in will come for the visitors, who seem in no type of rush right now, Paul.
No, they just want to get
forward.
to halftime.
And you can go to the locker room up by 2.
Yes.
In any situation, you feel good about that.
Oh, for sure.
Throw-in comes to Kadeem Akers. Well, Louisville City will get a run. Into the middle was intended for guess who? Chandler Hoffman. He couldn't get a foot on it, and it rolls out along the end line. Quickly, Mitch Hildebrand will knock it forward for Jimmy McLaughlin. McLaughlin working near sideline. Kenny Walker now back to McLaughlin. Trying to push it to Sean Coley, a bit short. Pat McMahon's going to intercept it in the midfield and then get tied up with Andrew Luban. Ross Tomaselli back to Pat McMahon.
Great
over to
work.
Austin Berry. And then Corbin Bone falls down as Berry was touching it forward. About halfway through the 3 minutes of stoppage time here in the first half. Mitch Hildebrand out across midfield. See if FC Cincinnati can put together one more push before the whistle comes and they head to the locker room. Create one more opportunity. Both of their goals last week came in the early parts of the respective halves, and they had one in the early part of the first half tonight. It's been all Louisville City since. Ross Tomaselli forward for Wiedemann. McLaughlin can't win it. Louisville City will pick it back up. Kenny Walker comes in trying to win it. Off to Austin Berry. Tyler Pollock, no. Louisville City with Kadeem Akers. Wiedemann has it knocked out far sideline, and it'll go back to City. Unofficially, about 30 seconds of the 3 minutes left. We'll see when the match officials decide to blow the whistle. Pat McMahon pushing back to the offensive third for FC Cincinnati. McLaughlin loses it. McMahon trying to regain control, cannot. And it'll be played into the Louisville City bench. James O'Connor asking for a whistle, as Austin Berry is going to push it over to Tyler Pollock. And there it is. Brandon Artis will blow the whistle on the first half. And the clubs will head to the locker room with Louisville City on top, 3-1. We go down to the pitch, and Lindsey Patterson, who is with John Harkes.
Down here with Coach John Harkes. Coach, down 3-1 right now. Chandler Hoffman, is there any way you need to change the way you defend him in the second half?
No, we need to change the way we defend from the top. We actually didn't press properly. We were too in between, and we left our second lines way too far open, and that started dragging guys out. Of course, we get a great goal early on, very well executed. To me, I think it was a very controversial handball, actually. His hands down by his side. That gets him back into the game, and then they had a little bit more belief from there.
A lot of whistles, a lot of early whistles out there. Is that a concern for you at all?
No, the concern is that we're just hoping that it's more consistent on both sides, that's all.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Lindsey. Good words from FC Cincinnati's gaffer as he heads to the locker room. Halftime at Nippert Stadium, Louisville City 3 and FC Cincinnati 1. The visitors rattle off 3 straight. After an early goal by FC Cincinnati, the penalty kick evened things, and Louisville City will head to the locker room leading by a pair. When we return, I chat with Jeff Birding. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer.
term, but we still got a lot of work to do.
You used to have staff meetings at your kitchen table last summer. Then you had the announcement here at the Richard E. Lindner Center back in August. And then finally, April 9th came around. What has this process been like for you?
It's been fun. I obviously enjoyed immensely my almost 20 years at the Bengals, but the opportunity to build something from scratch that's good for our city. I think soccer's on the rise in our country. It's the world's biggest sport, and the opportunity to make sure Cincinnati, that soccer fans here have a team of their own, was very important to me.
I think it was proven that soccer is very important on Saturday night when 14,000 plus were right here. In August, you talked about having a team that would have integrity, that would represent the city of Cincinnati and the club as well. It's obviously early in the season, but do you feel like you put together a group that provides all of those attributes?
I do. I think we have terrific guys, strong character. They're obviously very talented soccer players, but they stuck around after the game, signing autographs, acknowledging the supporters up in the Bailey. I've had the opportunity with my family to spend time with them and some of their families, and I think they're guys that our city can be proud of.
For the fans, 38 degrees, but the players made it exciting. Sean Okoli, a top 10 goal, and then the hometown hero, Austin Perry, with what ended up being the game-winning goal. Could you have written a better script for opening night?
No, it was a special night for sure. With the attendance and the electricity, the way the stadium looked was great. And then, of course, 2 just tremendous goals and a win to go home feeling great about. So it was a special night.
Jeff, when you look back at everything from Saturday night, what was your favorite part?
Well, probably just the electricity in the crowd, just the overall environment, seeing everyone having a great time. I really felt good that, we proved that Cincinnati is a soccer town. Just, of course we're a baseball town, we're a football town, we're a college sports town. But I think Saturday night we proved we're a soccer town, and I think that was my favorite part to see.
If a casual fan is sitting at home, tuned in tonight, why should they buy tickets for a future match and invest in FC Cincinnati?
Well, most of all, because it's fun. You look at the people that are at the matches and you're watching on TV, you see people having fun. Well, come down to FC Cincinnati with your family and friends, you have a great time. I think that's number one. Number two, the timing is such that, 7 to 9, get on with your night. You want to go do something afterwards, you can do that. Get the kids home to bed, you can do that. But I think the last thing is that, soccer's growing in this country. 10 years from now, there's going to be a very mature Major League Soccer, and some cities are going to have franchises. And, our thing is from a civic point of view, be invested, be a part of helping us grow this thing and taking it to the top level. Be a part of helping us make Cincinnati the best pro soccer town in the country. You can be a part of that by coming out to our games.
45 minutes of soccer in the books here at Nippert Stadium. When we return, we take a look at the first half highlights as well as the stats. That's coming up next. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. First half highlights presented by Road Dog Logistics, one of Cincinnati's fastest growing companies. Road Dog Logistics, working like a dog to move your freight. Tom Glitter, Paul Rockwood with you as we dive right into the highlights. And Paul got started early, a dangerous free kick for FC Cincinnati.
Right, and Tyler just drilled it across right to Austin Thorne, straight down the middle of the box.
So an early lead for the home team, but it didn't last long, as 11 minutes later, a penalty kick following a handball, and the first of 3 from Chandler Hoffman.
It's unbelievable. Like I said, inside the box, the guy's dynamite.
Well, he's been dynamite tonight. This time, he got a great cross and beat Mitch Hildebrand in almost the exact same spot.
Right, if you watch the runner come across, this is his third goal.
So the Chandler Hoffman show here in the first half as he picks up a hat trick. And then Louisville City went down a man. A second yellow card for Sean Reynolds means they will play the second half a man down. When we return, the second half comes your way. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. Nippert Stadium, where we are getting set for the second half of the first ever meeting between Louisville City and FC Cincinnati. Tom Glitter alongside Paul Rockwood, Lindsey Patterson, our sideline reporter. If you are just joining us, FC Cincinnati scored first, and then Louisville City 3 unanswered goals to take their 2-goal advantage. And Paul, when you look at the shots in the first half, Louisville City has 3 shots and 3 goals.
It's remarkable. I mean, that's talk about efficiency. That's extraordinary. But once again, Hoffman is dangerous in the box, and they've got to find him. And if they can unlock that puzzle, and then have their composure in the second half. You know, sometimes playing a man down, playing against a team with a man down teams make it harder than it really should be. But and it doesn't make any sense. But over the years, it just happens that way. It's just hard to adjust. But this will be a big challenge for Cincinnati to get back mentally, get back and with composure. Which Okoli he was brilliant at keeping his composure after he was pretty much manhandled the first part of the half.
Well, this was wildly discussed that it would be a rivalry match, and we expect when we see the attendance number, it will read higher than the 14,658 who were here last Saturday when the temperature was in the mid-30s. Tonight, a beautiful and perfect night at Nippert Stadium, mid-60s, and we expect a number that could be north of 18,000 depending on what the walk-up is. Of course, Nippert Stadium, you see the empty seats along the second deck. On the east side is a facility that seats 40,000, so there'll be some empty seats. There is no seating on the second deck for soccer, but the lower bowl, for the most part, that they have open is pretty full, and the fans have certainly responded. When you talk about FC Cincinnati and what they need to do coming out of the locker room, Paul, they're a team that, by nature, they're going to push. They're going to look to attack. Do they do anything in how they change their shape to try and make up those two goals?
Well, I think pushing up Harrison and Delbridge was a good move there at the end, trying to get another goal. They're going to have to find a mix between long ball, which if they just sit in, if Louisville just sits in, then that'll be easy for them to keep Cincinnati out. So I think Cincinnati's got to go in, play it into Okoli, drop it back, then play the wings and just spread them out that way and use the physical height that they have advantage and go from there. I expect them to come out and get all over Louisville. I would expect that. That's how I would expect it to come about.
All right, well, Louisville City making their way out of the locker room. FC Cincinnati awaiting their new rivals. And let's go down to the pitch and check in with the third member of our broadcast team, Lindsey Patterson. All right, seem to not have Lindsay right now. We'll check in with her here in a little bit. FC Cincinnati will control to start in the second half. Louisville City still huddled up, and James O'Connor making his way across the pitch. Corbin Bone and Ross Tomaselli standing over it. FC Cincinnati will be on the road next Sunday, 8 days from today at Toronto FC 2. That'll be a 4 p.m. match. Of course, you'll be able to watch that on the leagues, the USL YouTube channel. And then 2 weeks from tonight, FC Cincinnati back here at Nippert Stadium on April 30th when they will take on the Wilmington Hammerheads. 3-1, Louisville City. Remember, Louisville City playing a man down as Kenny Walker fires it forward in the direction of Sean Okoli. Nifty footwork to keep it in. Crosses it for Andrew Wiedemann. Good clearance by Louisville City, and he comes out into the midfield. Picked up by City onto the near sideline. Kadeem Dakers does a great job playing it up, but a bit too strong. Ends up on the foot of Mitch Hildebrand, who knocks it forward. Over to Ross Tomaselli, cleared to the far sideline, Harrison Delbridge. We have yet to see John Harkes go to the bench. We did see a substitution as now McCabe came out following the red card of the first half, and Connor Shinosky came in, a defensive substitution for James O'Connor. In the USL, you are allowed 5 substitutions as opposed to FIFA international regulations where you get just 3. Harrison Delbridge in the midfield. We are in the 46th minute. 3-1 Louisville City, and Delbridge miscommunicates with Corbin Bone, pushes it out along the touchline. Throw incoming, Louisville City.
Bone had come in, and McMahon was he was outside, and it looked like Harrison wanted to get McMahon down and flank and then get a cross in.
Ben Newnam waiting to throw it in for Louisville City. They will work left to right here in the second half, wearing their road kits, white tops with gold horizontal stripes. Gold numbers on the back, We're up here on the 5th row. Makes it a little bit trickier to read gold numbers off the back of white jerseys. FC Cincinnati in their blue traditional home kits with white and orange on the front, blue backs, blue shorts, and blue socks for the home lads. Harrison Delbridge pushing it across midfield. Forward to Sean Coley. Tried to play it up to himself. The flag came up on the far side, and offsides on Sean Coley.
Yeah, he was offside, and then he came back in offside position, came back on to get the ball, and that's why it was called offsides.
So free kick coming for Louisville City. Coley tied up with a few of the Louisville City defenders early. He picked up a yellow card in the 10th minute. And Harrison Delbridge playing with a yellow card in the 32nd minute. So we've seen a total of 4 yellow cards, but 2 of them were on Sean Reynolds, so he was sent off in the 41st minute. Can FC Cincinnati take advantage, trailing by a pair? Dakers using his back heel to play it forward onto the foot of Chandler Hoffman. Hoffman coming across the front of the box, fires it wide, was looking to hook up with Andrew Luban. A little bit of danger for FC Cincinnati defensively, but ends up going a bit wide of Mitch Hildebrand. And no trouble defensively for FC Cincinnati. Kenny Walker going to push it to his right. Picked up by Harrison Delbridge. Delbridge going to continue to push forward from his defensive position. Tomaselli over to Kenny Walker. Walker onto his left, Jimmy McLaughlin. McLaughlin's been quiet so far today. Had a great preseason for FC Cincinnati. Has had some good looks early on in the regular season and is itching for a chance to put the ball in the back of the net. Miscommunication again for FC Cincinnati means it's cleared out to midfield, but the home club regroups. Andrew Wiedemann fires, deflected off to Okoli. Okoli turns and puts his foot into it. It's knocked out of bounds. The flag went up, offsides, and let's go down to the pitch to Lindsey Patterson.
Keep your composure. They don't need to win the game in the first 5 minutes.
So FC Cincinnati knows they have 45 minutes to put their offensive attack together after coming out of the locker room and continue to push forward, try to chip away at a 3-1 deficit. Throw in coming from Tyler Pollock. A crowd in excess of 18,000 doing the wave. They are into it here at Nippert Stadium. Austin Berry to Pollock, right at midfield, off to Kenny Walker. Of course, Walker and Berry played together at Louisville, along with Paulo DiPiccolo, the midfielder for Louisville City. I would imagine that Ken Lola, the Louisville Cardinals head coach, is tuned in tonight. Ross Tomaselli into the middle, Kenny Walker. Louisville City's there to defend, and it's knocked forward by Aiden Quinn. Quinn to Newnam on the far sideline, deflected away by FC Cincinnati defensively. Throw in coming for Louisville City. This is the first of 3 meetings in the River Cities Cup. They will meet again June 25th. At Louisville Slugger Field in Louisville, 102 miles away. And then again here at Nippert Stadium, July 23rd, to determine who gets to keep said cup. Paul, we talked about it a little bit in the open. Rivalries will fuel the game of soccer. Seattle and Portland have a great one. USA and Mexico. There's countless great rivalries over in the English Premier League.
Exactly.
And it certainly feels like this is the beginning of something special between these two clubs.
Oh, yeah, that'll be a big story, the red card, particularly if Cincinnati comes back, draws even at least.
You think right now if FC Cincinnati could get 2 goals and come away with a point tonight, that would be huge. Andrew Wiedemann to the offensive third. Looking to cross it, he does so. Ross Tomaselli's there off his chest, can't put a foot onto it. Sean Okoli will strike it. FC Cincinnati wanted a handball called. The flag is up on the far side of the pitch.
Came back onside.
And they are going to say that FC Cincinnati was offsides. So the ball will go all the way back to Scott Goodwin, and Louisville City's going to win it back. John Harkes looking for an explanation down on the FC Cincinnati bench as Goodwin puts his foot onto it and sails it across midfield. Austin Berry heads it forward. He has the only goal tonight for the home club, his second of the season and second in as many Saturdays here at Nippert Stadium. Chandler Hoffman has been the story with a hat trick for Louisville City. Ball played forward for Dakers. Dakers gets tied up with Berry. It goes out along the end line. Mitch Hildebrand will get a goal kick. And waste no time putting the ball back into play. James O'Connor not happy. He wanted a foul called on Austin Berry. Delbridge forward for Sean Okoli. Okoli looking to keep it in. He does in the box. Tipped it into the middle, but nobody was there. Jimmy McLaughlin was making a run, but way behind the ball. Scott Goodwin's going to scoop it up as Okoli puts on pressure. It'll be interesting to see. Eric Stevenson is healthy. He is dressed tonight. And on the list of available subs, he is a dangerous midfielder who can put the ball in the back of the net. And I would imagine that we may see him in the next 10 to 15 minutes to give this club a spark, Paul.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
Here's Chandler Hoffman in the meantime, playing it into the middle. Off to the foot of Luban. Luban back to Hoffman, didn't get there, broken up by Berry. Now it comes out over to Dakers, just outside the box, looking to put his left foot onto it. Ross Tomaselli knocks over Dakers, and FC Cincinnati picks it up defensively. Can they work in transition? Wiedemann working in the middle of the pitch to Kenny Walker. Walker, long ball down the near sideline. McLaughlin trying to make the run, and it's a bit too long. Goes out along the touchline.
Got to be patient.
54th minute. Tom Glitter, Paul Rockwood happy to be with you. Lindsey Patterson, our sideline reporter. Throw in coming. Near side for Louisville City. In the direction of Dakers. He was tied up by Pollock. FC Cincinnati will win it back. Delbridge right at midfield. Austin Berry. Berry sends it to the left. Pollock into the box just over the head of Corbin Bone. And cleared by Louisville City, who will now try to make the run the other way. It's Chandler Hoffman. Hoffman does not have numbers and wisely pulls it out to the midfield. Onto the far sideline, Morad. Tarek Morad out of Chino Hills, California. Had 2 goals last year with Louisville City as they played their inaugural season just down the road. Tomaselli trying to turn it forward for McLaughlin. Dakers got in the way, and Louisville City picks it back up. Austin Berry watches it as it rolls out along the end line. Mitch Hildebrand will be quick to collect a ball and knock it forward. Feels like, Paul, we're now 10 minutes into the second half, that both clubs kind of feeling each other out and how Louisville City is going to defend playing a man down.
Right here's what you want to do. You want to get Delbridge penetrating into the space, getting some mismatches, get a cross.
Tyler Pollock already has an assist. Try to get into the middle to Corbin Bone. And a foul is going to be called on Corbin Bone. A free kick for Louisville City. And Bone and Aiden Quinn will have a few words as they work their way up the pitch.
Yeah, and as you notice, Louisville's taking its time to, which most teams do. When they have a lead, they want to take their time.
4 yellow cards were pulled in the first half. 2 on Sean Reynolds. So the second resulted in a red card send-off. That was in the 41st minute. FC Cincinnati responded with a few chances before going to the locker room, but they still trail by 2. Now in the 57th minute. Here comes a chance as Newnam driving plays it off of FC Cincinnati out along the end line. A corner kick coming up for the visitors. Louisville City did not have a corner in the first half, so this is their first of the match.
Amazing.
Ben Newnam will get over and take it. Far side corner. directly across from our broadcast location here at Nippert Stadium. Newnham swings it in. Mitch Hildeman trying to break it up. Shanowski was there trying to get his head on it. It's knocked away by Hildebrand, and Coley coming back from his attacking position to pick it up. McLaughlin was looking for a long ball down the near sideline. Coley couldn't get to him. And FC Cincinnati will be a little more deliberate, pushing it forward offensively. Kenny Walker to Tyler Pollock. Walker right at midfield. Walker forward for Coley. Trying to send it into the box. Goes off the chest of the defender for Louisville City. Then Walker too strong coming back in. It was Aiden Quinn who broke it up. The fans wanted a handball called on Aiden Quinn. Of course, the handball in the box resulted in a penalty kick early on. So anytime it's close, I think that the 18,000 or so here at Nippert Stadium are going to react. And there's the foul. Good call on the foul. Kenny Walker came in too strong.
For sure.
Nothing more than a foul, but Walker picks it up. Louisville City to the offensive third. Just outside the box. Here's Chandler Hoffman crossing it, and he goes out along the end line. Goal kick for Mitch Hildebrand. Kenny Walker turning it forward for Andrew Wiedemann. Wiedemann will watch it go out of bounds far sideline. Deflected by Louisville City. Throw in coming for FC Cincinnati, and they'll hold it in the midfield.
That's a Walker specialty, that drive. That one wasn't, but
Kenny Walker, as I mentioned, had a great career at Louisville, playing alongside now FC Cincinnati teammate Austin Berry. Ball played out across midfield. Austin Berry heading it forward. And now Kenny Walker picking it up with his right foot, pushing towards the offensive third. On to Andrew Wiedemann, far sideline. I'd say both Wiedemann and McLaughlin have been very quiet so far tonight, Paul.
very off just a hair.
Substitution coming up for Louisville City at the next opportunity. Cameron Lancaster, the forward, 6 foot, out of London, will check in. He's a product of Tottenham Academy. Has 1 appearance in the English Premier League, playing for the Spurs.
This is the way to take a little time off the clock and also get some fresh legs in there.
So Chandler Hoffman will not score again tonight. He is coming off. Cameron Lancaster's coming in. His 3rd appearance of the season. He does have a goal, providing a spark off the bench for James O'Connor this season. That's the 2nd substitution for Louisville. They have 3 remaining. FC Cincinnati has not gone to the bench yet, but all of their available subs are currently warming up. We saw Omar Muhammad off the bench. He's a speedy youngster last Saturday. Pat McMahon playing forward, tried to get it across the box, and it went out along the end line, so it'll be a goal kick coming up, Scott Goodwin. Goodwin will punt it out across midfield. Tyler Pollock gets his head on it. Now it's Jimmy McLaughlin coming over Corbin Bone. Bone trying to pick it up. Got tied up with Kyle Smith, the Cincinnati native, and Bone just a bit too aggressive, will be called for the foul. And again, Louisville City, just as FC Cincinnati would be doing, here's the foul.
Yeah, forearm shrug.
Louisville City is offsides as the flag goes up. Pass was intended for Andrew Lubin, the midfielder out of Erie, Pennsylvania. 3-1, Louisville City on the road, leading. Remember, if for some reason this goes to aggregate in the 3-match series this season, road goals would be the tiebreaker, so that could be big for Louisville City. But still time here for FC Cincinnati tonight. About 30 minutes remaining.
Great combination right there.
Pat McMahon taps it back to Kenny Walker. He'll send it into the box. Was looking for Jimmy McLaughlin. Then McMahon trying to win it back. Some contact. No whistle. Walker outside the box. Again headed away, and great defense by Louisville City. All the way out to the midfield. Harrison Delbridge regroups for FC Cincinnati. Walker with the right foot, sends it across. Tyler Pollock. Pollock along the end line was looking for Shauna Coley. Pollock regroups. Then a great ball in the box. Nobody's there. Tomaselli off to Wiedemann. Picked up Corbin Bone. Left-footed to McLaughlin. And it's knocked out of bounds. Corner kick coming up. Dakers playing back defensively, knocked it out. Corner kick will come near side corner. Corbin Bone will send it in. And FC Cincinnati a chance to cut a 2-goal deficit in half.
This is how they're going to have to play. Quick, get it out to the flanks.
Jimmy McLaughlin comes over in case FC Cincinnati wants to play a short corner. Bone sets it up, sends it into the box. Header, Harrison Delbridge right into the chest of Scott Goodwin. And that was the advantage that FC Cincinnati knew coming in. They had the size, and it was right on the head of 6'4" Australian, but Delbridge couldn't put it in. Corbin Bone. No, I'm sorry, Austin Berry now as Louisville City played it long, but FC Cincinnati able to pick it up. Ross Tomaselli looking to play a long ball up the line for Jimmy McLaughlin, but it's a bit too long and ends up on the foot of Scott Goodwin, the goalkeeper. Goodwin played in 26 matches last year for Louisville City as they made it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals before falling 1-0 to the Rochester Rhinos, the eventual USL champion. Across midfield, Louisville City working to the offensive third, where they have been very rarely here in the second half. Dakers with nifty footwork, gets into the box, crosses it, and nearly shot it into the goal on his cross. He had Newnham cutting. Newnham couldn't get to it, but the way he hooked it, Paul, it almost went in.
It was an outside the foot bender. It was a great shot.
Kenny Walker pushing forward, right to left for FC Cincinnati. 64th minute, 3-1, Louisville City on top. Pat McMahon playing up from his fullback position. Plays it back to Kenny Walker, trying to clear or send it into the box. It's deflected away by Louisville City, and now Ross Tomaselli will right-foot it over to Tyler Pollock. Jimmy McLaughlin coming from the left. Has it tapped away, and then we'll let it roll out into the corner. Corner kick coming up for FC Cincinnati. McLaughlin was looking to get it restarted quickly, and FC Cincinnati wants to make sure they get it right. First sub of the night for John Harkes. It'll be Omar Muhammad. The 19-year-old out of Columbus has very quick legs, and he will check in for Jimmy McLaughlin. So McLaughlin out, Muhammad in on the corner. Here comes Corbin Bone into the box. Headed over Scott Goodwin by just a hair. FC Cincinnati was right there, Paul, with a chance to make it a 1-goal game.
You can feel the momentum. Just keep it down at their own half, get corners.
So Scott Goodwin, who let up an early goal to Austin Berry, will send it out across midfield. Pat McMahon heads it away. Can FC Cincinnati continue to press with about 25 minutes remaining, trailing by 2? First of 5 substitutions on Omar Muhammad. He puts his left foot onto it. Great ball to Sean Okoli just outside the box. Okoli off to his right, Wiedemann. Wiedemann looks to put his left foot into it. Sends it in. Okoli trying to scissor kick it for the second straight week. Couldn't quite get enough of it. He got the shot off and it ended up right in the chest of Scott Goodwin.
Great ball by Wiedemann.
And Sean Okoli got it right at the 6-yard line, but didn't get quite enough of it to push it past the goalkeeper. Foul called on FC Cincinnati. So Louisville City will take their time getting to the restart just across midfield. But those are the opportunities we expect to see, Paul. We saw them early, then Louisville City took over, and now FC Cincinnati starting to create again, but they're going to have to hurry up and put a few of those in the net if they want to find a result tonight.
Exactly.
Childebrandt just punches it outside of the box, then Wiedemann trying to clear it. Gets tied up with Newnham. It'll be a throw-in for the home lads.
And the last couple chances that they've had, they build up through the midfield and then got it out wide.
Austin Berry, who has the lone goal for FC Cincinnati, on to Ross Tomaselli. Now forward, Sean Okoli, headed away by Kyle Smith. Ross Tomaselli will pick it up. Onto his right, Pat McMahon. Andrew Wiedemann working far sideline. Wiedemann had the great cross moments ago. Just outside the box, pulling it towards the corner, maybe trying to get the result of a corner. Now he's double teamed. It will go out. And did he deflect it off of Aiden Quinn? He did. Quickly, let's go down to the field and check in with Lindsay.
Guys, you can feel it here at Nippert tonight. We've talked a lot about rivalries. Well, we're less than a month away from the first ever Orange out here at Nippert. What team would it be best to do that against? That's right, Pittsburgh. The Riverhounds come to town May 14th, so make sure you got your Orange out.
Tyler Pollock on the corner kick, punched away by Goodwin, as FC Cincinnati couldn't catch up to it. Now a long ball the other way. Headed down by Morad, and he shoots it just wide of Mitch Hildebrandt. Goal kick coming up. But boy, Louisville City so close on the long ball. And I'm sorry, it wasn't Morad, it was Cameron Lancaster catching up on the long ball and shot it just wide to the left.
Good thing Corbin Bone just muscled him off just enough to knock him off kilter there. So the shot would go wild.
Cameron Lancaster nearly had his second goal off the bench this season for Louisville City. He checked in for Chandler Hoffman, who has all three today for the visitors. 3-1 Louisville City. 69th minute at Nippert Stadium. Corbin Bone pressing. FC Cincinnati getting chances. Here it comes into the box. Headed away by Louisville City, who's packing it in defensively. Omar Muhammad. Off to his left, Pollock. Pollock's had good looks. He had the assist early. Tomaselli to Corbin Bone. Back to Tomaselli. And backwards to Harrison Delbridge, the big Aussie. Now it's Muhammad crossing it in. Okoli, header off the crossbar. Bounces in front of Scott Goodwin. And what a beautiful ball from Omar Muhammad and Sean Okoli. Nearly brought FC Cincinnati within one.
What a partnership that was. Good service.
Inches away.
Just didn't get up on top of it enough.
That tells you how close it was by the fact that it came back and stayed in play, but nobody there in a blue jersey to pick up the deflection off the crossbar. A great look for Sean Okoli, who already has 2 goals this season. Kadeem Dakers, who has had a solid match, will come off, and we will see George Davis IV, a midfielder out of Lima, Ohio, checking in. He just signed with Louisville City about 3 months ago, on January 15th.
And the point you made about not having somebody in the box, Cincinnati has a man up, and we have 1 or 2 guys going into the box where we should be crashing, and that's what the crazy part about having a man playing a man up. Sometimes it just doesn't make any sense.
Well, the opportunities have been coming in the last few minutes for FC Cincinnati. Second substitution coming on now for John Harks, as we see Antoine Hopadot for the 3rd time this season. He's played 46 minutes. He's a forward out of Paris, France, and another person who can give FC Cincinnati a spark. He checked in for Ross Tomaselli, a defensive-minded midfielder. So Harks making the substitutions to push forward. Pat McMahon doing just that. Crosses it into the middle, looking for Okoli. It didn't get there. Louisville City clears. Coming up the far sideline, it's Newnham. Goes out right at midfield. It'll be a throw-in for FC Cincinnati in the 71st minute. Into the middle of the field, Kenny Walker. FC Cincinnati forward for Okoli, too short. The home club certainly has done a good job playing a man up and making sure that they have controlled the tempo here in the second half. Now they need to turn that control into some goals, Paul.
We're getting some crosses. We're getting some good chances. We just got to cash in on them.
Scott Goodwin with it in the box. Will put his right foot into it and send it out across midfield. Headed forward by Harrison Delbridge. Corbin Bone gets to it. But Louisville City able to collect. And now they'll play it all the way back to their goalkeeper, Scott Goodwin. Goodwin onto the far side of the pitch, too strong. It is headed in to the Louisville City supporters group on the far side. Much to their enjoyment to get involved on the action. Kenny Walker in the midfield for FC Cincinnati. Sent in by Corbin Bone. Sean Okoli is taken down in the box. And a very large crowd here in Cincinnati wanted to see a penalty kick for the home team. Didn't get the whistle.
18,000 referees.
Kenny Walker crossing the pitch. Looking to his right, the defender falls down. Kenny Walker thinking about striking it. Hoppenot tapped it forward for Okoli, didn't get there. Now it's Tyler Pollock. Corbin Bone. Forward for Okoli. Walker, right-footed shot goes just wide. And a goal kick coming for Louisville City.
Sure would like to see the midfielders run at the Louisville defense more, because it really is, when they do that, it pulls them out of their little spots that they're just hanging in.
We have not yet seen an attendance number here tonight at Nippert Stadium, but my guess is that it is well ahead of the 14,658 that were here last Saturday on a frigid night when FC Cincinnati knocked off Charlotte. A misread in the defensive third for FC Cincinnati, but they're able to regroup, and then a foul is called on Louisville City. Corbin Bone going to press it forward. The Bailey looking for some action right in front of them. Hopping on in front of the FC Cincinnati bench. 74th minute. It remains 3-1 Louisville City. All 4 goals came in the first half.
This is what we want.
Delbridge into the box, off the shoulder of Okoli. Kenny Walker collects it, sends it back in.
Great
Far
ball.
side post, headed into the middle, nobody there. Corbin Bone collecting. McMahon saw it come off his head. Austin Berry for Wiedemann. Wiedemann working into the offensive third. Looking to put his left foot onto it and sends it over to Kenny Walker. FC Cincinnati being very patient here. Back to Delbridge. Now all the way out to the midfield and Tyler Pollock. Kenny Walker swings it across onto the foot of McMahon. McMahon, a right-footed cross. Okoli and Muhammad miscommunicate. They were both there. And then Louisville City will clear it out of bounds. Quick throw in coming. Walker back to Pollock. Delbridge all the way out at midfield. Certainly 15 minutes remaining, and then probably a few more tacked on. So looking at 17 or 18 minutes in all likelihood remaining in the match. FC Cincinnati needs one to gain some momentum and inch a little bit closer. Pollock will send it forward wide of Goodwin, who wisely does not touch it. Lets it go out along the end line, and he'll gain the goal kick, and my guess is take his time putting it back into play.
Not only that, but as long as Cincinnati keeps launching balls into the box from 40 yards out, they're just going to sit back, and the keeper will just pick up the scraps.
Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike soccer information. Corbin Bone trying to push the tempo now to Kenny Walker. Walker onto the near sideline, Omar Muhammad. Muhammad is knocked down by Kyle Smith. The foul is called, and this is a spot here maybe where a free kick could be dangerous, Paul. Instead, FC Cincinnati puts it into play quickly. Kenny Walker fired a shot, but it was deflected. Now into the box. Harrison Delbridge going to go down, trying to draw a foul. And he will not get it. May have been a little bit of contact, but nothing egregious enough to draw the penalty kick. But certainly try to get the attention of the officials. You never know.
And a little acting.
Yeah. The big Australian is up and will run down the pitch. And Scott Goodwin will take his time putting the ball back into play. Header skids away from Tyler Pollock, but right to Mitch Hildebrand. George Davis was there to challenge for Louisville City. 3 goals for the visitors following the early goal from Austin Berry. And Louisville City has been up by 2 ever since. But FC Cincinnati getting opportunities here in the second half. Just have come up empty. Still time. Time to try and put together a draw. We have not yet seen Eric Stevenson, but we will see another substitution from John Harkes as Derek Luke, the defender out of New Jersey, has come to the 4th official to check in. Saw him very late in the match against Charlotte. He actually came in during stoppage time as FC Cincinnati clung to their 2nd win of the season. These 2 clubs with identical 2-1-0 records on the year. Ball's headed out of bounds, far touchline, throw in coming. The ball kid threw it in, so it'll take an extra moment for FC Cincinnati to get it back into play. Pat McMahon and FC Cincinnati will get their substitution here. Tyler Pollock, I think he played really well tonight.
I did too.
Derek Luke will march in. Pollock out. A swap of defenders for FC Cincinnati's Gaffer. McMahon plays it into the box. Delbridge couldn't get to it. Okoli was there as well. Scott Goodwin gobbles it up. And again, we'll let a few seconds run off before punting it away. Headed forward by Louisville City and slowed down. Get into the game through the USL's social media channels. Follow the USL on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for news, live game updates, and video highlights from across the league. Corbin Bone picking it up in the midfield for FC Cincinnati. We are on to the 80th minute. They'll play a long ball for Omar Mohamed, trying to catch up with it before it goes out along the end line. And Kyle Smith did a great job screening him out, not letting him get there to give Goodwin the goal kick.
The ref just talked to the Goodwin to speed up his play just a bit.
And now we will see the substitution I was talking about. Eric Stevenson, the midfielder from Columbus, Ohio. He was a 2nd round MLS draft pick in 2014 by the New York Red Bulls. Makes his FC Cincinnati debut. Had a bit of a nagging injury during the preseason. Didn't play a lot and had not played until right now. He is in, and he is someone that this club can look to be a goal scorer. Can he be a spark here in the final 10 minutes? Hopping out off the back of his heel. Left it for Okoli, who didn't get there. Cleared by Louisville City. Now back to Mitch Hildebrand, who has to quickly get rid of it with pressure coming from Newnham. Luke is able to collect on the near sideline. FC Cincinnati now going to have to push, trailing 3-1.
This is when high anxiety seeps through the stadium right now.
Austin Berry right foots it forward to the far side of the pitch. Andrew Wiedemann. Wiedemann just outside the box, has it knocked out into the corner, and that might be one of the spots, a set piece. This is something, Paul, and you and I have been to a lot of practice that they spend a lot of time on to get these right. Remember, FC Cincinnati's playing a man up here.
Immense amount of time they spend on this. Once again, as you talked about throughout the game, they have the upper hand as far as height.
Derek Luke swings it into the box. Austin Berry's there. Comes out to Hoppenot. Left-footed shot. No. Delbridge can't turn on it. And Newnham's going to kick it out into the midfield. A couple looks for FC Cincinnati, but they come up empty. Still trailing by 2. Wiedemann sends it back to the box. Okoli. And it'll bounce out to Hoppenot. Okoli not happy with the foul as he is called. And he gets a quick word from Brandon Artis, the match official. Remember, Coley picked up a yellow card in the 10th minute, so he needs to be careful there and not pick up a second booking and get sent off himself. Sean Reynolds is the young man who was sent off early for Louisville City. Came in the 41st minute. FC Cincinnati has been unable to take advantage of that situation since. They've controlled the second half, no question, but still trail by 2. Enrique Montano, the California native and defender, will check in. Andrew Luban, a midfielder, will come out, so a defensive substitution coming for James O'Connor.
More bus passengers.
Yeah. We'll certainly pack it in for the final 10 minutes or so. Second consecutive home match for FC Cincinnati. Throw-in coming from the Cincinnati native Kyle Smith. Luke clears it on the throw-in. Pat McMahon will get it just outside the defensive third, and he plays it into the midfield. Hoppenot couldn't win the ball. Now Austin Berry comes over the back to get the header, challenging Cameron Lancaster. Keep up to date with the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL. Omar Mohamed just outside the box. Here's Stevenson. A pair of fresh legs for John Harkes. Corbin Bone over to the far side. Wiedemann looking for a cross, knocked away. And a corner kick coming for Wiedemann, far sideline.
That's the type of play we need to do over and over and over.
Quickly in play for Corbin Bone. Crossed into the middle. Delbridge trying to get his head on it. Goes out along the end line. A goal kick for Scott Goodwin. Good ball, just maybe a little bit too strong, intended for the big Aussie.
Yep. They need to keep going down toward the goalpost and then draw it back as well.
84th minute. Louisville City 3. FC Cincinnati 1, first of 3 meetings this season. Last week, Louisville City scored 4 straight after going down 1-0 early. And we just saw the attendance number, 20,497, a USL season record. That is not the USL all-time record, but a USL record for the 2016 season, 20,497. Omar Mohamed swings it in off the paws of Scott Goodwin. Nobody was there to deflect it in for FC Cincinnati. So a great job by the front office for FC Cincinnati on a beautiful night. The city has responded again.
The community has just been begging for this.
They've been energized by professional soccer at Nippert Stadium. 35,000 combined in the first 2 home matches for FC Cincinnati. Folks, if you're not here tonight, they'll be back here 2 weeks from tonight against the Wilmington Hammerheads. By then, the weather may be even better. Headed away and cleared by Louisville City. Derek Luke picks it up. FC Cincinnati, if they're going to get a result, and at the very least get a point, they're going to do it in exciting fashion. I'll tell you that much, Paul.
That would.
Pat McMahon sending it across. Louisville City packing it in. They're deflecting almost all of these crosses before they can get to any of the FC Cincinnati guys. Coley just misses a header as Andrew Wiedemann fed a pretty ball. Coley diving and couldn't catch up with it. Another look for us in the booth. And Coley missed it by inches.
That had the keeper beaten badly.
Hoppenot gives it to Eric Stevenson. Stevenson lost it just off his foot. Now it's played up the near sideline for Louisville City. They'll let it roll out of bounds, and Austin Berry will throw it in. Louisville City took over in the first half following the penalty kick in the first of 3 goals by Chandler Hoffman. And And FC Cincinnati has had their opportunities, but the way this game works, Paul, sometimes you can create all the opportunities in the world and you can't find the back of the net. That's certainly been the story here in the second half.
Well, that's for sure. The old adage, some days you bite the dog, sometimes the dog bites you. That's a great flick. Oh, could have been a play on.
And 2 players are down. Harrison Delbridge for FC Cincinnati.
He tried to flick it on and must have hit the forehead of the Louisville player.
The foul will be called on Louisville City. You can see all the FC Cincinnati guys while they're keeping an eye on Delbridge, using this opportunity to grab a little bit of hydration. It's like Enrique Montano, the 6'1" defender, was who collided with Delbridge.
He didn't even try for the ball.
A vicious collision between Delbridge and Montano. They both appear to be okay. No booking, but Paul, you certainly feel like it could have been one.
That should have been a booking.
And it is. There you go. The card is coming out as we get one more look. Enrique Montano is going to be booked. So the 88th minute, a yellow card on Montano and a good call by Brandon Artis. First yellow card of the season. Both players are going to have to come off the pitch because play was stopped for them. A little bit rare now. We're going to see 10 on 9.
Yeah.
As FC Cincinnati, meanwhile, has a very dangerous free kick coming here.
This could be one where we draw back.
But they lose Harrison Delbridge, who's their big target in the box. Luke and Corbin Bone are standing over the ball as FC Cincinnati will put it back into play. Short ball played for Wiedemann. A little bit of trickery from FC Cincinnati trying to chip it in. Slow roller to Wiedemann and see if he could sneak it past Goodwin. Didn't work out. And now as Goodwin punts it away, Delbridge is cleared to return to the match, so he is back out. FC Cincinnati back at full strength. And time running out on the orange and blue. 89th minute, 3-1 Louisville City. Corbin Bone swinging it into the box. There's Delbridge, and it is punched away by Scott Goodwin. The flag was up. FC Cincinnati offsides. Harrison Delbridge doesn't agree.
He doesn't buy that at all.
So again, Goodwin will take his time returning it to play as Louisville City looking to pick up their 3rd win of the season and their 2nd in a row in come-from-behind fashion. Foul called on the near sideline right in front of John Harkes. FC Cincinnati will waste no time getting it back into play. Now to the 90th minute. I would imagine we're looking at about 4 minutes of stoppage time. Even though we haven't seen any goals.
Correct.
Did have the injury situation. We have had a yellow card. Ball sent into the box. Wiedemann turns on it with his right foot across the box. And nobody in a blue jersey there to pick it up.
There's a lot of body language out there.
Sent out across midfield. 4 minutes of stoppage time. So the clock stops at 90 minutes. 4 minutes are tacked on. And Louisville City knows they just need to get a few more stops. They can get on the bus and make that short drive back down I-71 with their 3rd win on the season.
Get the ball out, take your time getting the throw-ins.
I think, Paul, you got to give Louisville City a lot of credit. Playing a man down, they've not folded here in the second half and have done a good job knowing that FC Cincinnati is throwing everything they have at them. There's Omar Muhammad with his quick feet. Drops it to Corbin Bone. Now Muhammad looking to get it back to the box. Over to Luke. Luke onto the right. Hoppenot into the box. Harrison Delbridge was looking for a header, and it was a bit too strong. He's 6'4", but to catch up with that one needed to be about 6'9". And they call them the Coopers, and the Coopers are celebrating right now on the far side of the pitch. I'd say at least 1,000 of them made the trip Up 71, 102 miles. And they're feeling good with their club up 3-1. Working our way through 4 minutes of stoppage time.
And the rivalry is on.
No doubt, these two will meet again June 25th in Louisville and July 23rd, a 4 p.m. contest here in Cincinnati. Again, Delbridge trying to get his head on it, cannot. Pat McMahon will pick it up after the clearance by Louisville City. To the top of the box, knocked out by City, out across midfield. Hoppenot will track it down. Austin Berry looks like he might be cramping up a little bit. Muhammad crosses it, headed away by Louisville City, and a late whistle on a foul call on Louisville City will set up a dangerous free kick for FC Cincinnati.
See if we can cash in on this one finally.
3-1, Louisville City leading by a pair. We are in stoppage time, so even if FC Cincinnati gets one here, they're going to have to find a way to get it back to the offensive third quickly.
Yes.
As we're already halfway through the 4 minutes of stoppage time. Corbin Bone looking to cross it, does so. It's knocked out. Hoppenot turns on it. Then Eric Stevenson deflects it off of a Louisville City player. It'll be a corner kick for FC Cincinnati, who again has to hurry. Bone will call for it. He'll send it in from the corner near side with his right foot. Here comes the cross. It is headed towards the goal and into the goal! Pat McMahon gives FC Cincinnati their second tally of the night. And is there enough time and enough magic for the home club to get one more? The first of the season for Pat McMahon. Louisville City is just going to send it forward. There's probably about 1 minute of stoppage time left. So there is hope for the home lads. 3-2. McMahon gets the header and the second goal for FC Cincinnati. Muhammad and Okoli is going to be called for a foul, and Louisville City is going to be in no type of a rush. John Harks is not happy down on the home bench. As Louisville City going to run the clock as much as they can here. Can FC Cincinnati find a way to get one more and pull off a draw? James O'Connor is calling for the final whistle, and there it is. Louisville City wins the first ever Battle in the River City Cup. A late goal by Pat McMahon brought FC Cincinnati back within one, but it was not enough. And Paul, the home men battled tonight, but didn't have enough in the tank to get it done as they got looks in the second half. Take another look at the goal by Pat McMahon late. Put a head on it, and Scott Goodwin didn't know where to go there, Paul.
He did not know. Pat came from the top of the D right across the box, and good header, great header.
Well, you hear the 20,000 plus chanting FCC. They enjoyed themselves tonight, even though they did not come away with a victory. 3-2 the final tally, as you see both clubs shaking hands, and this certainly has the feeling of an English derby, as they call it. And we will step aside here at Nippert Stadium. Once again, your final score, Louisville City 3, FC Cincinnati 2. We will wrap it up when we return. This is FC Cincinnati Soccer. Tom Glitter and Paul Rockwood back with you at Nippert Stadium. Let's go down to the pitch to Lindsey Patterson, who's with assistant coach Ryan Martin.
Coach, you had opportunities in the second half, but you fall short. You get the late goal. Do you use that as momentum for the next match?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the effort, the momentum that the guys built in the second half. We hit the crossbar once, hit the post once, a couple of near misses. So we definitely used it as motivation and kind of momentum as we head into Toronto. Got to credit the guys' performance as they fought in the second half, and got to credit the crowd. What an inspiration to drive the guys. So for us that was a positive. Obviously, you don't like to lose a result, but there are some positives to take away.
Thanks, Coach, for your time.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Lindsey. Great work down on the pitch all evening long. Tonight's post-match highlights are brought to you by Toyota. For all Toyota offers, including those not seen on TV, go to Toyota's official website for deals at buyatoyota.com. And the highlights, Paul, got started with FC Cincinnati. Austin Berry, the Cincinnati native for the second consecutive week, was able to put the ball in the net on a header, and we'll get to the highlights here in a moment. And here it is on the restart, the set piece.
Great serve by Tyler. You don't want to give the defense any time. Hit it, and it was just buried right in there.
So Austin Berry, his second goal of the season, second at Nippert Stadium, but then the handball was called in the box on FC Cincinnati.
Questionable.
And all of a sudden, the Chandler Hoffman show began.
Great penalty kick.
That was his first of three, and then the ball on the cross put it in exactly the same place as he did on the penalty kick.
And you watch the man taking the near post run, and he dummied it. The defender didn't see it. This is a great turn and hit.
So his third was probably his best. Chandler Hoffman came off in the second half, and then Pat McMahon late. The header, 2 headers tonight. McMahon brought FC Cincinnati within 1, but unfortunately not enough for the home club as they fall by the final score of 3-1. Impressive to see the support from the Bailey tonight as they waited till the men walked off the pitch to give them big cheers. Tonight's moment of the match is brought to you by the Cincy Brew Bus, Cincinnati's original and premier craft brewery, winery, and distillery tours, and it is Pat McMahon's goal. It gave a spark to the club late and some momentum, as you just heard Ryan Martin talk about, to try to carry them into Toronto.
Yes, he did. Once again, he came right to the box. Great service. And there was openings in the defense, and he exploited it.
So, once again, our final score from Nippert Stadium, Louisville City 3, FC Cincinnati 2. Our next broadcast of USL Soccer on WSTR and ESPN 1530 comes your way 2 weeks from tonight, Saturday, April 30th, when FC Cincinnati welcomes Wilmington Hammerheads to the pitch. The action begins at 7 p.m. For sideline reporter Lindsey Patterson, my broadcast partner Paul Rockwood, our producer David Ashbrock, and production manager Mike Bacon, I'm Tom Glitter saying so long. Thanks for tuning in, and good night from Nippert Stadium.